Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be addressing signs of working in a toxic workplace and how to deal with bullies in the corporate world. Now I want to start this video with a shocking fact. This was a survey done in the UK. 85% of people hate their jobs. Now there is nearly 67.1 million people currently living in the UK. Let's assume that's 40 million of these are adults working. It would mean that 34 million people aren't happy with their jobs. That's horrifying. It doesn't surprise me because although I enjoyed my last job, what I didn't like was the toxic culture, and boy, it's real. And I know many people, and hopefully people that watch this will relate to it. And what I want to do is I want to address the signs, I want to address what's wrong with it and how you might be able to actually deal with it, because there's three ways really. You either lie down and you put up with all this toxic culture that is happening. 2, you fight back, which is draining. Or 3, you leave, you feel defeated and that they've won and you go get another job. But this is kind of like a mindset that we need to address. We're going to go through the signs and the problems right now, which is in the corporate world, which really aggravates me, especially from coming from 10 years in employment to now working for myself. It's a different picture, and I really want to spread the message that you do not have to put up with the bullies and all the negativity that surrounds most corporate and full-time, part-time jobs that are out, and why the fact of 85% of people in the UK do not like their jobs. Number 1, let's state the obvious. Gossip, backstabbers, whatever you want to call them, just the drama that is caught up in the corporate world, whether it's supervisors, managers, work colleagues, whoever. There's just a lot of drama and it's draining. Now, if you're someone that wants more from life, perhaps you're a family person and you have your priorities in order, because I tell you this now, there are a lot of people in the employment world that haven't got their priorities in order. And do you know why? Take a look at them. See if they've got children. Have they got a partner? Have they got responsibilities? Have they experienced life? Typically, if the answer is no to all of that, they're probably the worst. They're probably the ones causing the problems. I'm going to get to graduate students later. Sorry, graduate managers coming straight out of uni. They're a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. We're going to get to that in a minute. But the backstabbers and the political competition that we see in the corporate world is awful. Now, I'm reading a book at the moment. It'll pop up on the screen somewhere. It's called 12 and a Half by Gary Vee. I promise you, if you're in employment, any type of corporate life, and you read or listen to that book, you'll go in with a different mindset and probably very frustrated. So trigger warning, if you read or listen to that book, it's a great thing, but you will go in thinking, this is not right. I deserve more. So let's start from the foundation. We're all human beings. I'm a human being. Everyone watching right now is a human being. And if you go into your place of employment, what's the one thing that should never change regardless of rank? What's the one thing? It's called respect. Everyone should be demanding, and I say demanding into the mic here, respect. At what point does respect diminish, or, the tables turn depending on your rank? Let's just say, for example, you have a cleaner who's one of the lowest paid members in the corporate world in some form of employment. And then you have the senior area manager, big title, big whip cracking title on 150,000 a year. I ask you, does the respect then suddenly change because of the pay packet? The obvious answer to me is, well, absolutely not. The respect is the same. So you walk into your corporate place, please find the confidence to go, I belong here. I enjoy the job. I applied for the job. I got the job. I'll be damned if anyone's going to push me out of this job. Okay. I'm going to go through those reasons why people may leave and when you should leave and when to call it quits. But first and foremost, you deserve to be in that job. You deserve and you should demand respect. And you should never have your self-esteem lowered, lack of confidence, no respect. You need to value and actually respect yourself. And I say it bluntly, get a backbone. But of course, there will be some people that may watch this that are suffering from mental health issues or are suffering from anxiety or really struggling to stand up for themselves, because, there is a lot of toxicity in the workplace in terms of colleagues, talking behind your back, people having their own agendas. I totally get it. We're going to get into that.
This episode was sponsored by Peter Komalafe, the author of The Money Basics. Manage your money and plan for your future and get back to basics. So what are you waiting for? This is available for pre-order on Amazon. The links will be in the description below. Go get yourself a copy now.
Something that people really struggle with is dealing with their managers and superiors and bullying. Okay, so the word manager really irritates me, and this is the reason why, and I feel that it needs to be addressed. Manager, man management. Should we not have leader, someone who leads by example, someone who leads the front, someone who looks after their team? Because I need to really stress this message. Everyone who is above you in terms of rank, so if you're a supervisor, assistant, you have a manager, senior manager, operations manager, whatever it might be, team leader, they are there to serve you, believe it or not. Shock, horror. They are actually there to serve you. Hey Dave, hey Rebecca, have you got everything that you need? How was your weekend? Are you getting any of this? work was okay. You know, is it crack the whip style mentality? If someone hasn't been performing very well, what you shouldn't be having is, right, I want to see you in the office. We need to have a chat about performance review. What it should be, this is the culture that it should be, a happiness culture of saying, hey Ben, is it all right if I just have a quick word, mate? Yeah, sure. Look, dude, you don't seem yourself today. Performance hasn't been that great. What's going on? You know, compassion, empathy, these are all signs that we should be looking for, but a lot of places lack. So if there's no compassion, if there's no empathy, that is a big sign. If there's bullying, there's a big sign. If the team leaders, the managers, the whoever, the seniors are looking for ways to crack that whip, they're always changing the goalpost, no job role is very clear, and they're leaving you with that anxiety feeling, at what point do you turn around and say your health is more important? But how do we actually start addressing this? Well, I'm going to get to that. We also have to be very careful of what I would say, strong word coming up, trigger warning, snakes. You have to be very careful of snakes. And what are they? Well, there's a lot of political competition. So you could be friends with someone in the workplace and you think they're your lifelong friend. And I've put out some content about this recently. I promise you now, no work colleagues are lifelong friends because they all have their own agenda for their family, because their family comes first or their needs come first over yours. So don't get too close to people. Try and keep yourself to yourself. Be polite, you know, go in, do your thing. Have ambitions outside of work as a fallback. Try and create other incomes, but don't get too trustworthy with people. Don't tell people your deepest, darkest secrets. Try to be that person who remains humble, very collected, content, says what they need to, and then leaves and finishes the job. That's the best way to stay mentally sane in the corporate world. Another toxic sign of working in employment is a manager having an expectation that you should be doing more other than your contracted hours. I need you to come in on a day off when you're not scheduled because we've got a meeting that you need to be at. Absolutely not. Say, no, it's not within my contracted hours. A manager or someone making you feel that you need to start early because there's other employees that maybe have no life or they have nothing to do outside. They don't have a family. They don't have children. So they're happy to go in early. Me, absolutely not. I was not happy to go in early. I want to start when my shift starts. It's not because I haven't got a good work ethic. Believe me, I've got one of the highest, smart work ethic. But it doesn't mean that I should feel bad because I start on time and leave on time. If your manager is making you feel that when you leave, you should still be thinking about work, again, there are ways you can deal with that. But that is another sign, being made to feel you should be doing more than your contracted hours. Now, all of these signs of a toxic work culture can lead to health issues, both physically and mentally, and it should never ever get to that stage, which is why now I'm going to address how you can deal with it. HR, unfortunately, cannot be trusted. I think most people agree with me. They work for the employer. They are there to protect, essentially, but you may have to go down a route of raising it to them, at least for formalities. So if there is an issue, what can you do about anyone? Start taking notes, dates, times, exact words, witnesses, so forth. Bring it together in a collected formal document. Start using that as basically your defense. That takes time and energy. I fully appreciate that. But if you don't feel that you can do that, then obviously you seek guidance and advice elsewhere, outside of your employment. Maybe there's a union, citizen's advice, whatever it might be. But you need to do something. Have a backbone. You really need to stick up for yourself because you deserve it. Everyone should be getting respect. No manager should be shouting at you. No one should be talking down to any team member, not employee, team member. So you can fight back, but I totally get it's draining. The alternative is you start looking for another job whilst in that employed role. So know and just accept that as much as you love the job, and again, do people really quit jobs or do they quit the bosses? Are they leaving for a certain reason? Are they feeling pushed out? If that is the case, unless you are extremely strong-willed and you can mentally switch off, it will start taking a toll on your mental health and your family life, and other people will be impacted, which is what you want to avoid. So in that role, the other way to deal with it is start looking, unfortunately, for another job. Do what you can. And my old saying was, as I come to a finish, if you're going to go down, make sure the ship goes down with you. You know, if you feel that you can fight back, do it. I totally get it. It's draining. I've been there. I've had my issues in employment before. Mainly most of my issues because I did actually stick up for myself. I know myself. I know my worth. Everyone deserves respect is my final message. Please do hit like and subscribe. There will probably be a part 2 coming soon. Leave me any comments. I'll get back to everyone and I'll see you all soon.